So just so y'all can see me a little bit better. We're starting out in a seated position. Maybe you want to grab your block here. Place the block underneath the hips just to help elevate the hips a bit more. The mudra that we're moving into is again known as Apana Mudra, A-P-A-N-A, where we take our thumb and then we place the thumb directly onto the middle finger and also the ring finger. So we're drawing it down, backs of the hand down, connected towards your lap. And knowing that you can come into your own chosen gaze that allows you to feel connected here on your mat in this meditative seat. But we begin by emphasizing the breath more, especially since this is the theme of our practice. Just first start by drawing awareness to your breath, just following the breath, not controlling it right off the bat. Acknowledging that you're breathing and following the inhales in and exhales out. And this energy that we're creating today, this prana, this life force, we can think of it as prana like our central nervous system going throughout our entire space in our body. And as we specifically hone in to Apana Vayu, really start to visualize more your breath going down your entire body, even towards the ground floor of your feet. So on your inhales, direct your breath in now towards your lungs, maybe even into the depths of your diaphragm. But then visualize that the breath moves further beyond the belly button, all the way down your legs and towards your tippy toes. We'll continue this visualization here, sending the energy downwards. And we can think of this also like in the chakras. With our root chakra, we root down. So we start with a firm foundation to allow us to feel more earthing, more grounding in our bodies. We're here for just a couple more breaths. Visualizing maybe that you are forming roots directly below you to connect the energy towards the ground, towards your mat. And we'll continue to use this breath throughout this entire practice to root down with an energetic breath to lift ourselves up, inclusive of balanced postures, but also different physical and emotional challenges that we might encounter on our mats today. When you're ready, release the mudra. We will definitely be revisiting this later. It's why I wore my Rolling Stone shirt, because it was the rock-on symbol. But we'll stay in our comfortable seat, interlace the hands, press the palms away, drop your chin down towards your chest. On your next inhale, lift the arms up high, lengthen out of your side body. So you're trying to make yourself as tall as possible. Then lean towards one side for a side body stretch. Come back towards the center. Take a breath. Inhale. Continue to lengthen. And exhale towards the opposite side. Come back towards the center. Interlace the hands behind the back. Maybe you want to grab your strap here just to help open up the chest. Option to drop your chin down toward your chest as well, just to open up into your cervical spine. And then we'll release this into a child's pose. So I'll use the next couple breaths to transition. Take your time to meet me on your mat. I'm going to move my block around and set up a bit more. But we find our way towards child's pose, toes together, knees wide. We'll continue to work into the upper body. Our pose that we're going to be moving in towards, our peak pose, is bird of paradise, where we take flight, we root to rise to lift up in that asana. Option to stay here in your child's pose, or thread the right arm underneath the left, drop the right cheek down towards the ground. And knowing if something is not serving you in a pose that I call out, you can change it up anytime that you need. But continue to emphasize your breath to send the energy into all parts of yourself today. Sometimes we as a society don't take the biggest breaths that we actually possibly can. So we're not reaching our fullest potential, if you will, of moving our prana throughout our body. So continue to notice how you're breathing, where you're sending your breath to, even in poses of stillness or more activity. Switch arms on your next breath. Left arm underneath the right. We'll be here the same amount of time. Continuing to visualize the breath going down towards your feet. Slowly release, come back towards your child's pose. We'll meet to find tabletop position. Send the right leg long and back. So automatically start to connect toward your core here. Draw that belly button towards your spine. Feel the breath pull in. We're activating your mula bandha, your lowest core muscles. Continue to stay. Option to add the left arm long to reach forward. Lengthen out as much as you possibly can. And even feel the breath lengthen here too. So sending the breath even down the lengthened back leg. Slowly release. Find your other side for spinal balance. Left leg goes long. Continue to zip that belly button in so you're protecting your lower back. Option to add the right arm forward. It's feeling our muscles start to charge up, hugging muscle to bone, even in spinal balance. Tabletop position is where we meet. Downward facing dog, press back. We'll be here for a couple breaths, knowing that maybe you want to stay in tabletop instead or move your downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths just to make this pose feel good today. Each time that we show up in an asana, it's probably going to feel different than it did the day before whenever you practiced last. Let's meet back towards tabletop on your next exhale. Inhale, gaze forward to find a cow pose. Downward facing dog, press back again. This time, gaze forward. Tippy toe all the way up towards the top of the mat. We'll hang in ragdoll pose just for a couple breaths. So Apana Vayu is really the part of prana that allows us to move through challenges, move through different transitions, and it's how we're responding to those transitions. So best way to describe it and how we can think about Apana Vayu is it's usually representative as like relieving air out of our body, meaning like with your gastrointestinal system. So we think about expelling what we don't need with this prana. Release the hands down towards the ground. And before you move up towards a standing position, grab your strap. We'll stand all the way up. So since we are working into bird of paradise, we'll work into the shoulders a bit before we do our sun salutations. So grab a strap, grab a towel, whatever it is. Then take your strap about shoulder width distance and drop your strap down towards your hips. Zip that belly button in so we're standing tall into this Tadasana. And we'll add the arms. Inhale, lift up, maybe drawing elbows past the ears, trying not to press yourself into a back bend, but still staying tall and strong in your spine. Exhale, drop everything back down towards your hip bones. A couple more times to inhale, lift up. Continue to ground into your feet, feeling your breath still move towards the foundation of your mat. We'll continue to lift on your inhales and exhales to lower down. We'll do this about 3 more times on your own. Trying not to rush your breath. Each of our breaths are probably going to be at different time frames. So finding what feels comfortable and empowering for you. Once you hit that third round to lift up, we'll stay lifted. Then take a side body stretch. Drop your strap more towards the right side. Gaze can also come up towards the ceiling. Or maybe you want to gaze down towards the ground. Continue to zip that belly button in so you're still strong and tall, protected into the spine. Come back towards the center, lengthen out again, and exhale towards the opposite side. Your choice on where you want to take your gaze. Come back towards the center. Strap stays into the right hand. Release the left, bend the right elbow. All right, so we're coming into Gomukhasana arms. So grab that left hand, either, if you have a strap, you can take the position that I'm demoing. If you don't have a strap, left hand can go towards the right elbow. Tendency here is to want to pull yourself forward so you almost look like you're going into a back bend, but try to keep that spine straight. Knowing that everything has a purpose here and what we're doing in today's class. Each pose will help build onto the next. Continuing to use your breath to develop further awareness. Slowly release, shake it out, and then move towards the other side. And left elbow now bends. Might take a minute to figure out how to adjust the strap. Always happens to me. Either right hand towards your left elbow to continue to open up into your triceps, or right hand can go for your strap. Maybe you want to walk the strap up depending upon the range of motion on this side of your body. Might feel different on one side compared to the other. We'll stay for one more full breath. And slowly release. Place the strap down. We'll start to move now into our sun salutations. All right, continuing to warm up our body. Stand towards the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up, arms high. Exhale, forward fold, drop down. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back towards your plank. We'll stay here about a couple more breaths, just testing things out for our first plank pose. Option to drop the knees down. Let's warm up the shoulders a bit more since we're getting into them a lot today. Right hand for the left shoulder, and then switch it out. Left hand for the right shoulder. Just a couple times to move back and forth. Continue to connect toward your spine, so you try to minimize the movement in your hips. Let's do one more round each side. Then hold into your plank and lower down knees, chest, and chin for an 8-point salute. Shift the hips forward to find your first cobra. Untuck the toes, pull the chest forward and up. Child's pose, press back. We meet downward facing dog. On your next inhale, rise up. Gaze forward, step or maybe jump up towards the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, lift your arms. Hands toward your heart center, exhale. Inhale, reach back up. We have 2 more sun sals. Exhale, lower. Halfway lift, inhale, step back, plank pose. We're skipping that shoulder builder, lower down chaturanga, option for knees, chest, chin again. upward facing dog as the alternative to lift your quads up off the mat. And downward facing dog is where we meet. We'll be here for about 2 to 3 breaths, taking any additional movement. Your next inhale, gaze back forward, step or jump towards the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms high. Reset with hands towards your heart center. Last round, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, plank pose. Chaturanga, lower down. Always feel free to skip the chaturangas if you'd like. Upward facing or cobra. And downward facing, press back. Quick little detour. Gaze forward. We're meeting towards boat pose. It's always like, oh my gosh, that's always a surprise. Why boat? Right, we're going to be moving more towards your mula bandha, so think lowest core muscles directly below your belly button. Either feet down, knees up, arms forward. You can stay here. Maybe you want to lift your legs up. Hands can be underneath your calves. Option for arms forward or even legs straight. So it's more about staying with your upward lift, lifting up into the chest and grounding down into the tailbone. We'll be here for about 2 to 3 more breaths, using your inhales to continue to uplift yourself and exhales to ground down. We'll see this later in Bird of Paradise when we lift ourselves up to stand tall. Cross at the legs. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Take a lion's breath to reset. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, sigh out. Walk your feet together towards the back of the mat, ankles touch. Lift your right leg up. Keep those hips squared off for this one. Draw your knee towards your right elbow, connect. Kick back up, inhale. Left elbow, connect. Kick back high, bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe you want to take some hip circles or ankle circles just to help warm up the joint some more. Last breath to lift. And high crescent is where we'll meet. So land with runner's lunge feet, then lift your arms up. All right. So this is where we'll build back into that rock on symbol. It feels super powerful, right? Like taking the rock on, the Apana mudra. And we'll move in from here. Lift up, one-legged mountain. Left leg goes high. So working into your core even here. Step it back, high crescent. Always feeling free to release the mudra if that feels more comfortable. We'll take a couple times to move back into our balance. Continue to lift up through your pelvic floor. Lift up, one-legged mountain. Step back, high crescent. Lift back up. Exhale, step back. Last breath, inhale, hold. And step back, airplane lunge. Reach your arms back, release the mudra. Warrior 2, open up. So now you see why I suggested classic rock as your playlist today, as we'll be revisiting that mudra a couple times. Let's get into your front leg some more. Straight leg, palms up, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach. Exhale, 2. Last time, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, reach back, lengthen out that side body. And cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot. Step back toward your high plank, hold here. And side plank, left arm down, right arm up. Maybe you want to drop the left knee down as well. But even here, we think root down to rise up. So press down into the mat. Inhale, use your breath to lift. On your exhale, optional vinyasa, we meet towards downward facing dog. About 2 to 3 breaths in your downward facing. Always option for child's pose whenever you need it. Resetting for your other side. Walk your ankles back together. So really working into your inner thigh line, then lift your left leg up. Knowing that that leg might not go as high, and that's totally okay. It's really trying to check in with the ego here to stay in alignment with your body. Left knee, left elbow, draw in. Kick back up, inhale. Right elbow, draw across. Kick back up. This time, bend your knee, open up the hip. Couple circles as you deem fit. And take your time to step it forward for your high crescent. Situate the feet first, then lift your upper body up. We're coming back to Apana Mudra, so rock on symbol. Use your inhales to lift up for that one-legged mountain. So as many steps as you'd like to take to get there, right knee lifts. So try not to hug it all the way up. Stay with that 90 degrees so you can move deeper into your core and help your lower back out. Step back, high crescent. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift, hold. Airplane lunge, step it back, reach the arms back. Warrior two, open up. Couple times just to move with our breath. Inhale, straight leg, palms high. Exhale, warrior two. Two more, inhale. Exhale, two. Last time, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, reach back. Cartwheel the hands down, frame that front foot out. Step back, high plank. And side plank, right arm down, left arm high. Can we think lifting up into our hips and pressing down to root down, exhaling into the floor. Chaturanga as the option. We again meet downward facing dog at the back of our mats. Lion's breath once you get there. Inhale. Exhale, sigh out mouth. Quick child's pose. Maybe you want to grab a sip of water. I'm going to grab my water real quick. We'll start to move into some half binds. So help us move further into later on when we go towards bird of paradise. Keep your strap close by and also keep one block close by towards the top of your mat. From child's pose, lift up towards a tabletop. Send the right leg long and back again. Bend the knee so the feet's up towards the ceiling. Activate the glute for a couple times for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it forward, lizard lunge. Left arm down, right arm up. Maybe you peel that chest back so you reach back. Option to stay here or grab the back foot. Great place even for the strap to lasso that back foot. It's helping you open up deeper into your pecs. Slowly release the hand. Step back towards your high plank. Side plank again, right arm down, left arm up. One breath to lift. We'll meet all the way down onto our bellies, lower down. All right, since we're staying with the right side, make a half letter T shape so you're reaching out towards the right. So I'll show you on the wall because sometimes that's easier. So reach out towards the right, right cheek down, right cheek down. Bend the left knee and then roll over so your left foot's your kickstand. I'll demo on the ground as well. So we're opening up continually into that right pec. We'll get the left pec in just a second. About one more breath here. Come back towards the center. Either tabletop or high plank, press up. Downward facing dog, press back. Take a breath in. Exhale out. Tabletop position, lower down. Other side, send the left leg long and back. Bend your knee a couple times to pulse it out. Thinking glute work here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it forward, lizard lunge. Either twist with the right arm down, left arm up, or maybe you want to reach back to even grab your back foot. If you're grabbing the back foot, continue to work into opening up the chest. One more breath here. Exhale, release both hands down. Plank pose, step it back. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Other side for your pec stretch. Extend the left arm long, left forearm down, left palm down, left cheek down towards the ground. Bend your right knee so that foot is lifted up towards the ceiling, and then start to shift over toward your left side body. Right foot is your kickstand. Come back towards your belly, either tabletop or high plank. We got to get side plank on the other side. Left arm down, right arm up. Just for one quick breath. Back towards plank pose. And downward facing dog, press back. Gaze forward, step or jump towards the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. In chair pose, sink down. All right, we're kind of moving all over the place today. Reach the arms back for jet airplane arms. Sink deeper down into the glutes, still activating your chair. From here, transition back towards high crescent again. Step that right foot back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Warrior 2, open up. Reverse your warrior, reach back. And side angle, first time we've been here, we'll stay a couple breaths. Left foot down. Maybe you even want to drop your right knee down to make this a bit more accessible. Sometimes it's quite helpful because I can really work into opening up rather than continuing to stay balanced with that back knee lifted. So that might be helpful to lower the back knee down. While you're here, great place to grab your block, especially if you have your back knee up or even down. But continue to think about opening up through your chest and spiraling that hip open towards the ceiling. We use our breath to exhale, send it down, and inhale, peel the chest open. Take one more full round of breath in whatever posture that you've taken, whatever variation. Cartwheel the hands down. Pivot on the back heel. Right arm down, left arm high, twist, open up. Last breath to stay. Exhale, release both hands down. Gaze forward, chair pose, right leg meets the left. Inhale, reach the arms up. Continue to stay activated in your legs. Reach the arms back just to help open up the chest more. And step the left leg back, high crescent, reach your arms high. Warrior 2, open up. Reverse your warrior, reach back. We have side angle once again on this side. Right arm down, left arm up. So all different options to help you move into this pose. We make the pose work for us rather than completely shift ourselves to be in the pose. So maybe, again, you can take that right elbow toward your inner thigh line, left arm up. Block can come down towards the ground. Keep pressing away into your inner thigh line, or even settle that left knee down and really work on opening up more into your chest. So we kind of take the back leg out of the equation. About 1 to 2 more breaths here. And slowly release, twisted runner's lunge. Pivot high into that back heel, left arm down, right arm up. Drop both hands down, chair pose, left leg meets the right. Reach the arms up. We're lowering all the way down, back towards the ground, back towards our high boat. So still working into the core. You can stay in high boat, or maybe you want to move towards low boat, then lift back up towards high boat. Think your lowest core, your mula bandha, directly underneath your belly. Lower down, inhale, lift up. So exhale, send us down. Inhale, send us up. One more time, exhale, inhale, lift, crisscross the legs, downward facing dog, press back. We'll be here for about 3 to 5 breaths or child's pose. I'm gonna grab another quick sip of water. Taking whatever you're in for the last 2 breaths. We'll meet to find downward facing dog. Walk your feet together to touch towards the back of the mat, changing it up again. Continuing to stay present as we move through these different variations. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee, open your hip. Option is stay or flip your dog. If you're flipping, we lift up on our inhale to press the hips high. On your exhale, find warrior 1, step it forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. All right. So start to settle the feet. Maybe move that right foot closer towards the outer edge just to create space for your hips. And we'll take eagle wrapped arms. So right arm underneath the left. You can stay in the hug instead or traditional eagle wrapped. Work into your core a bit by hovering that upper body down towards the ground. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, lower, hold. Side angle, unwind the arms, right arm down, left arm up. Adjust your legs as needed. Maybe again, you grab that block. Second time that we've been here, maybe you want to take a half bind or option for a full bind. If you're taking the full bind, another option for the strap, even with your knee down. So I'll show you towards the back because that's easier. You can take the strap, use the strap to your advantage again to help you make the full bind. About last breath. Release your bind. Either twisted runner's lunge again to switch out the arms, or maybe you want to come back towards another side plank. Either way, allowing our arms to open up. Then move through your optional vinyasa. We meet towards downward facing dog again. 2 to 3 breaths to continue to hold or shift into something else that serves you in the moment. Setting up for your other side now. Walk your feet back together. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip. Maybe you want to stay on this side or another option to flip your dog for a back bend. We meet to find warrior 1. Step that left foot forward now. Set up your feet. Left foot leads, back foot about 45 degrees. Again, I like to make space for my legs. Sometimes when we're on a balance beam, it doesn't allow me to actually move my hips forward and it exacerbates my knee. So when we take a wider stance, we can find more stability, especially if you are someone that menstruates, we have wider hips, right? So we want to lean into that space. All right, eagle wrapped arms on this side, left arm underneath the right. Again, you can give yourself the hug instead. Working into the core, lower down on your exhale. Inhale, lift up. 2 more, exhale. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, hold. Unwind the arms, side angle. You can adjust your feet as needed. Half binds, full binds available. We'll be here for about the same amount of time. Continue to root down in your feet to lift your chest up. To transition this, either twisted runner's lunge to lift your left arm up, or both feet can meet together for side plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. And downward facing, exhale. Gaze forward. And we'll meet towards a yoga squat. So you can either step or jump there with the feet onto the outer edge of the hands, and then relax the booty. All right, instead of, a lot of the times when we enter into this, we kind of sink down, right? But since we are working on the lowest abdominal, we're focusing on sending the breath down, but using our inhales to lift us up. Lift up a bit higher into the hips so it feels more active. You can also grab your block, sit onto the block, continue to uplift the chest. While you're here, I'm going to give you a couple options. Of course, if you wanted to do an arm balance, you can go for crow. Or if you wanted to continue to open up the chest, drop the right arm down, left arm up. So we continue to press that right tricep into your inner right thigh line. Either gaze down, gaze up, whatever is preferable to help your cervical spine. Also, you can move into a bind here. Left arm behind the back as the half bind. Right arm can go to reach for the other hand, or you can use your strap to complete the bind. So my right elbow is still really wrapped around my inner thigh line of my right leg. Wherever you're at, we'll balance it out to switch sides. Left arm down, right arm up. Atlanta's gotten a lot hotter here, so I'm sweating a lot more than the last time that we practiced in here. You can definitely feel that humidity start to kick in. Option for the half bind or full bind. And strap is your friend, not your foe. Wherever you're at, let's release to stand up, keep the legs wide. All right, we're here. We're finally building into Bird of Paradise. We're going to be entering into it in a different way. So keep the blocks close by, keep the strap close by. And of course, you don't have to take Bird of Paradise if you don't want to. Legs are still wide, right arm down, left arm up. All right, so you can either take a half bind, take a full bind. If you're wanting to try Bird of Paradise, kind of looks funky to demonstrate from the other side. You don't even need the bind to actually enter into Bird of Paradise, but wherever you're at, start to wiggle that left foot forward. If you don't have the bind, grab that right hand for your right ankle. We root down and use our inhale to rise up. So you can use that right hand for underneath your right ankle or heel. You can hang out here. It kind of looks like a, almost like a tree pose, but we're just practicing our balance. If you have the bind and you're in Bird of Paradise, we do the same thing where we root down in our left leg, inhale up into our core. You can stay with the right leg straight or extend it a little bit or maybe fully. A lot of this is core work. Our lowest core is using us to control the up and down. Wherever you're at, let's start to release back down, come back to the twist, right arm down, left arm up, and exhale, forward fold, relax. Either peace fingers around the big toes, Lift halfway, inhale, exhale, fold. You can also come back to ragdoll, hands around opposite elbows. So allowing your body to relax first. We're moving back to find yoga squat. Sink back down into the glutes. All right, again, a couple options. You can still take the arm option, maybe crow pose again. Or if you wanted to play with your balance a bit more, continue to sit up into your glutes. So your glutes are pretty active. We're using our core to lift us up. Maybe you want to rise up onto the tippy toes. If you don't want to take the tippy toes, you can also reach your arms up. So we're really using our core to support even the arms up. Option for the mudra again, to take rock star here, Apana mudra. Continue to steady your gaze, steady your breath. And release, wide-legged forward fold again. Great place to shake the booty a bit, just to loosen up the hamstrings, plus it just feels nice. We'll start to build towards our other side now. So you can either take the block, left hand down, right arm up for your twist. You can stay here the entire time. Maybe you want to build to find that half bind, right arm behind your back. Option for the full bind, left arm underneath. You can also grab your strap here to use to grab. We're continuing to stay for a couple breaths. And know that you can move towards your playtime to test on your balance. Start to wiggle that right foot more towards the center of your mat. Root to rise. Exhale sends the breath down. On your inhale, start to lift your leg up. Again, if you don't want to use the bind, left hand underneath either your ankle or your heel. Then we root to inhale, lift. What goes up must come down. Exhale sends you down. So take a breath in, then exhale, start to descend. Knowing that you can play as long as you want, especially since you're doing it at home. But we'll land back in our twist, right arm down, left arm up. Or actually, left arm down, right arm up. Sorry about that. Slowly release both hands down. Halfway lift, inhale. Keep the feet wide. Right foot stays where it is. Step that left leg back. Lizard lunge. Drop the knee down. You made it. We're down to the ground. We'll be here for about 7 to 10 breaths. We haven't done a whole lot of hamstring stretching, so you can even stretch your hamstring even here. If you didn't want to stay with that bent knee, you can send that right leg back and straighten it out a bit and then shift it back forward. Just kind of moving the joint around again, working into the hamstrings. Of course, you can stay in stillness in this lizard lunge instead. You can go back to the bind that we took earlier as well. We're here for about 3 to 4 more breaths. Whatever you took, shift back forward, then step the right leg back to meet the left. Take your knees together for this, and we'll make some tiny U shapes just to get onto the outer edges of the hips. So drop that right hip down towards the ground, then come back towards the center on the inhale. Exhale, dip the hip towards the left. Just making like a U-shaped position to move the hips side to side. Start to transition towards your other leg. Step the left leg forward, lizard lunge. Same options on this side if you wanted to get some extra hamstring stretch, just to shift the hips back and shift the hips forward. You might notice that as we do this a lot when we're in our Anjani asana, our low lunge, where our hips are more squared off, then we send it back for a half split. You might notice a slight difference, especially if you have externally rotated hips. This might feel a bit easier to enter in because our hips are open to move to the hamstring stretch. So just something to notice, a deeper sense of insight. Doesn't mean that it's good or bad either way. It's just how our bodies are shaped differently. Some are more internally rotated, some are externally rotated. Once you've moved around or stayed in stillness a bit, we'll come back forward. Then step your left leg back, tabletop position. And just sink the glutes back, swing the legs around. Seated forward fold. Give your legs a shake a bit. We'll help move out of our pelvic floor by just moving a bit side to side first to situate the glutes. Take your thumbs and place them towards your hip flexors to help ground you. Lift up out of your spine from there, straighten it out, then start to hinge forward from the hips. And just noticing if the ego says, oh, I want to go further, and then try not to overextend yourself in the stretch. Great place another time to grab the strap, place it around the balls of the feet. Always honoring your body exactly where it's at. Lift up. We'll take a different stretch. So we're all about being different today. All right. Set up for what looks like you're going towards Janu. So you can go towards Janu Shirsasana, keep that right leg bent, and then fold over. Or hands grab either for the bottom of your foot to straighten out. You can also grab for your calf, or even use your strap to lift up. So we're kind of incorporating really everything that we've done all day in this stretch, where we use our core to lift our leg. Continue to roll the shoulders down your back. We'll take double pigeon from here. Release the leg. Left leg crosses over the right. A lot of the times what tends to happen, especially if you're feeling pretty tight in your glutes, your left leg might want to go up, and that's very normal. Doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. If you wanted some extra space to help you, if your leg is pretty high, just for extra support, you can place a block underneath your left bent knee to hang out here. While we're here, option to forward fold over both legs. Might also feel nice to even take a towel underneath that left ankle. Sometimes I know like it doesn't feel that comfortable to have a bone jam into your leg. Slowly lift up. Take both legs long again, feet down, knees up, and just windshield wiper the legs side to side just to help loosen up the hips before we move towards the opposite side. And same options as before. Doesn't mean that you have to go into those options once you feel out how your body's responding. So you can start with Janu Shirsasana, left knee bent, right leg long and fold over. Or you can lift your leg. Right leg lifts either with the hands supporting underneath the calf. Maybe your hands grab onto your foot. Or again, use your strap to place around the ball of the foot. Roll the shoulders back. I was just thinking about how I get pedicures a lot because y'all see a lot of my feet when we're doing online yoga. Thank God that I used soap today, right? I laugh at myself quite often. It makes the practice so much more enjoyable when we're able to laugh at ourselves rather than judge. Start to release that leg. Move towards your double pigeon. So we're stacking the leg again. The side of your body might be responding differently, so move in accordingly. You can use the same different suggestions we offered on the other side to place the block underneath your right knee this time, or maybe even a towel or something to support the ease underneath that right ankle. You can continue to stay upright or forward fold. Your next breath, lift up. Send both legs long for just a brief straddle. Maybe you want to shake your legs out or even forward fold over. We're not here for long, just using this as a counter stretch to what we just did with our double pigeon on each side. On your inhale, lift back up. Wherever you're facing, come down onto the mat. Give your right knee a hug in towards your chest. Very appropriate pose, known as wind relieving pose, since we're all about Apana and also Vayu, the Hindu deity of air. Just continuing to guide your breath. Maybe you want to stay right here just to release your hip flexor some more or move towards your twist. Guide your right leg over towards the left side of your mat. Option to use your block to place underneath your bent knee. It's fascinating how our practice is so multifaceted, where the asana works together with the mudras, the mantras, even the chakra system and the Vayu system that we were looking at today. Everything works together. We look at our practice from a holistic sense rather than just asana. Come back towards the center and switch out the legs. Left leg hugs in now for wind relieving pose. And you can stay right here or send your leg over towards the right side of your mat to take a twist. And block can come with you just to use as a prop underneath your bent knee. Draw back towards the center. Give both knees a squeeze in toward your chest. Round your nose up to meet your knees. I'm going to give you another option to take what you need. Could be a back bend of your choice. It could be an inversion. But either way, we lift ourselves up to rise up one last time, even in bridge, to ground down on the exhale and inhale, lift up. Even in inversions, ground down, send the breath down, and inhale, lift your legs. Our breath definitely powers us up physically, integrating our core connection. but also really works into our central nervous system, moving us even into a more balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic. We use what we've been given to continue to find equanimity in our own lives. Wherever you're at, take a quick counter pose, maybe just a quick squeeze in, and find your way to Shavasana. So allowing yourself this moment of rest. Know that, especially since we are virtual, you can take a longer rest if you'd like. We continue to use our breath here in these final moments that we have. Guide your breath from the ground floor of your feet and start to send it on the inhale up to the crown, the top floor of your head. On your exhale, send the breath back down towards the ground floor of your feet. Just using this to direct your prana, direct your breath up and down throughout your entire body. Take about one more round of breath. Biggest inhale, fill up entirely and retain the breath at the top. Maybe sip in a bit more air. And sigh out through your mouth. Let it go. Take some gentle movement to start to come out. We'll meet towards a comfortable seat when you're ready in the next couple breaths. So whenever you enter into your practice next, think about the breath and how it moves through in your movement. Or even when you're going about today, how you're using, even taking a step forward to propel you on your inhales in and exhales out. And it's quite fascinating, again, what we've been given and how we're directing the energy into our bodies to continue to help balance us. So let's end today by pressing our hands towards Anjali Mudra, hands towards prayer position. And maybe you rethink what that rock-on symbol is now. Different variation of a mudra. But just bowing to yourself to honor where you're at today in this moment, even after the practice, acknowledging physical, mental, emotional sensations, and how the breath can be used to, again, develop full awareness of where we're at in this space.